What's going on, everyone? We are in Taipei, Taiwan again for Computex 2018. This year we're going to do a few things outside of the typical Computex coverage. Give you guys a lowdown on what goes on in the city itself, city life when you want to build a PC here, or just shop for tech in general. Guang Hua, I think I said that right, is the place to be. We're going to have fun hunting, maybe even buy a few things, assuming we can fit them in our carry-ons back home. Let's have fun. Now, something to keep in mind before we start showing the prices here, the Taiwan to US dollar conversion rate's about 35 or so to 1. That will, of course, vary depending on your choice currency. So if you see a laptop, let's say, priced at 35,000 Taiwanese dollars, it might seem a lot to you, but remember, divided by 35, that's roughly $1,000 for a mid to high range laptop. It's not too bad. And the prices here are actually pretty competitive. You'll see that here shortly, almost about the same, equivalently, as you would find in the States. So let's go check that out. Okay, first up, what you're looking at here is kind of like just everything you could possibly want in it, little store. And you'll find that this building in particular has a lot of these small shops kind of built into the plaza. Now this one sells everything from, you can see we have a ton of Intel CPUs. We have power supplies there. We have a bunch of peripherals, you know, mice, keyboards, headsets. We have graphics cards. Most of them, albeit, are pretty weak by comparison. You know, GT 1030s, 730s, RX 560s are pretty common in there. And then we have motherboards on the right side. But the idea is, right, you come in here, you decide what you want to build, and then you can pretty much pick everything imaginable, apart from maybe a case, in a single store like this, which is great for PC building enthusiasts. You don't see this stuff, like, I mean, even fans up top. Like, I know you can't really tell because it's very bright, but there are some fans you can choose as well. These are all pretty up to date as well. You know, so this is a pretty sweet stop here right at the entrance. You can see the escalator behind us, and this will get you going for sure. But of course, there isn't just this store to choose from. You have many on this level alone. So here are examples of typical laptop prices here in Taiwan. You see $25,900. What's funny is they still use the US currency symbol, but of course this is Taiwan dollar. That's 4 gigs of DDR4, 256 gig SSD, and an i5-8250, which I believe is a quad-core ultra-low power CPU. So it's the newest CPU for the ultra-low power Ultrabooks, and that's good to see. They don't have the most up-to-date stuff. I noticed that you know, Huawei and a few other brands are very behind. I guess you can buy a lot of stuff in the States that they haven't gotten yet. The P20 though from Huawei is pretty big. We might stop by that store in a second.
Hey, look at this awesome one-hand keyboard. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but comfortable at the same time. We should play games with this.
These PCs? What are they?
They use PUBG as marketing selling point. They promise 80 FPS with this system.
That's pretty smart. So that's kind of like what NZXT does with the build software. Online, you can basically build your PC and it'll tell you exactly what kind of specs will give you what FPS. So look, if you want to play PUBG at 80 FPS, apparently this is the system for it. Now, I don't know what that says. It might have something to do with the in-game resolution or the settings, but still nice. And it's cool to see, you know, a marketing tactic like this in Taiwan, not something you see too much in the States. All right, so we have a dedicated PlayStation store. There are actually about 3 or 4 of every store in here, and that's because none of these are actually directly affiliated with the manufacturers of the products they're selling. So you'll see like Lenovo there. Like, that's not an official, sorry, it's really bright. Like, that's not an official Lenovo store. They just sell Lenovo products, so they put the sign up top so you know exactly what you're buying. And then you have a couple other stores that will just kind of keep it general because they sell a plethora of products. A bunch of graphics cards, 1060s, I see a lot of in there, 1050 Ti's, peripherals, more peripherals back there. See smaller stores dedicated just to, let's say, storage in the case of AData, XPG. More laptops on this side. Hello! And yeah, what I've noticed is that most people are actually pretty cool with us filming here. And I think that just has to do with the culture, you know. Germany in particular was very anti-filming. We had to be very sneaky when we filmed in the tech market, just because people don't like being filmed. And I understand that, right? You have the right to say no, but a lot of the people here are okay with it. So this store here is a branded ASUS ROG retailer, and what they have, again, pretty much everything you could possibly want in a PC build, all laid out for you, ready to buy part by part. The great thing about a store like this though, first off, they're upfront about all their prices. So you can see the far right here, all of the yellow tabs are the prices, again in Taiwanese dollars. So for example, 16 gigs of DDR4, $67.99, it's about 68, divided by 35 is about 200 bucks. So again, that's very comparable to what you would find in the States. We'll have the exact conversions on the bottom of the screen down here. So $67.99 for 16 gigs of RAM, and that, again, that's, you know, pretty high clock too, right? 3000 megahertz LPX Corsair RAM. And if we pan over here, they're actually doing bundles, and this is where things get really fancy. So we have an Intel Core i7, 8700K, a Z370 motherboard, 16 gigs of RAM, a 240 gig SSD, plus a 1 terabyte hard drive, a 1070 Armor 8 gig card from MSI. You get an optical drive, a 600 watt power supply, and then whatever it says on the very bottom there, I don't know what that says. And you get all that for 41,900 Taiwanese dollars. Sounds like a crap ton of money, right? But if you convert it real time, here we go. That is just under 1,400 US dollars. And that in our country is a great price right now for what you're getting. An excellent gaming PC. Again, the 8700K is one of the best gaming CPUs out there, actually the best right now if you can get decent clocks on it. And a 1070, which is plenty for 1080p, moderate 1440p gaming. That's a great, great price. And this is basically all you need to build a PC. Right here, you get it all for 41,900. All right, so this is the more official side of the tech market here in Taiwan, and I want to show you guys some of the places you can shop. So there's an official HTC store right there, a Samsung store just around the corner. So, you know, all the official name brands, those official retailers are in this section of the tech space here in Taiwan. Now we're gonna go upstairs and check out what else they have to offer. By the way, we were talking about Huawei earlier. This is where that store is. Again, very bright, kind of like Apple stores. I think they've all caught on board at this point. A dedicated ROG, looks like LAN party going on in that one. So coming up on the second floor here, we're gonna swing right. This is cool, it's like a WD showcase. It's actually, looks like a building, a Western Digital hard drive right there. That's pretty chill. So here we have Sony, then we have Transcend, that's basically a data storage company. We have HP to the right, and then we have MSI down at the end. So what does an MSI store look like in Taiwan? Let's go check it out. Okay, so following what I was talking about earlier, Razer here is an example of a company that doesn't have all of the latest tech in store yet, and this is something you won't really run into in the States because you don't really have dedicated stores like these all over the place. But Razer in particular is advertising their older 14 Razer Blade laptop, a 14-inch model, when we actually have, I think it's what, the 15.6-inch model now that just came out that you can buy on their website but that you don't have in store yet. And that's just kind of weird. Usually when you have a new model released or you're about to release it, you tend to have those products in the shop so that people can actually, you know, play with them and maybe buy them on site. So that's one of the things I've noticed. The Razer store by itself though is actually really cool here. They try to trick all these out and give people who are, you know, into gaming a personal feel. Okay folks, so that was the Guang Hua Tech Center here in Taipei, and I wanted to make this video. Thanks Lisa for helping me and literally filming almost everything in there, just to give you guys a little something different. We don't usually go out of the office much, and when we do, we try to at least film in some tech stores to give you guys an idea of what to expect when you go in them. Taiwan has very competitive prices. I'm very pleased to see that, and I am excited to see what kind of new tech these companies will have to offer at Computex this year. Stay tuned for that coverage. We'll try to do maybe one more of these before we leave Taiwan in about 2 weeks. This is Science Studio. Thanks for shopping with us.